Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning, good afternoon, and very good evening to Sir Azwan and my fellow classmates. Today, I would like to make an opening for my groups. Every worker have their own rights as long they still follow the rules and regulations set up by the organizations and governments. Industrial relations itself denotes relationships between management and workers in the industry. Both the parties have a common interest in the industry, but many times they are found to be pulling in different directions, which lead to industrial unrest. The one common variable that all organizations must cope with is changes. As the environment getting dynamic and continuously changing, managers, trade unions, and other participants in an industrial relations must cope with disputes over what is and is not appropriate in the changed circumstances.
Trade union is an association of workers forming a legal unit that usually called bargaining unit that acts as bargaining agent and legal representative for a unit of employees in all matters of law. Based on the newspaper article, the party involved is trade union. Trade union movement in Malaysia have shown a decline among workers when there are violence occurs among them or trade union. Most of them only choose to lodge complaints with relevant government institution instead of doing pickets, strikes or complaints against their employers. Under trade disputes, there is an individual actions that can be taken by trade union to force an employer to give in to its demand. It may be in form of pickets or strikes, but if you refer to the newspaper, pickets are less responsive. Even if there are pickets happened, the number of members or workers that participate is small or minor percentage. However, is there any guarantee that IONAS member will always treated well or always be protected? Based on the example given in the newspaper article, about 6,000 members of Malaysian Airlines, or also known as MAS, get rid of, even though most of them are IONAS workers. Trade unions should always work together to solve problems within them. Today's union, the things that highlighted by employees is such as deductions of wages or salary and small benefit gained from bargaining collective and so on. However, deductions of wages or salaries can be made at request of employee in writing in section 24 subsection 3, which payments registered trade union for interest, fees and so on. Deduction without any reason are not allowed, and if that happen, employers can be sued. How to strengthen the unions? How to strengthen solidarity among unions? The answer, in my opinion, is the meeting should be held frequently so that when we discuss about decision making or any actions that can be taken with all members, they have all ideas or any opinion among them so that it will benefit to them too. When the union becomes stronger, employers can easily take any action or advantage among employees.
Hi, so now I will relate the newspaper article with the industrial relation related principles. So firstly, based on the article, the trade union has less effort for better rights and justice. It can be related to the role of the government as an employer in the public sector, which is referred to the federal government, the federal statutory authorities, the state statutory authorities, and then local authorities. They are responsible to make the objectives clear so the workers able to understand what their working environment looks like. There are three types of decision making that can be applied for the employees. Which is first, unilateral decision. Decisions are made by management on behalf of the employer without any interference by the workers or any other party. Second, bilateral decision, which means decisions are made with participation from workers through trade unions. And thirdly, tripartite decision. It is made by three parties, which are employers, union representing the employees, and government. Therefore, the employer must know exactly what kind of decision they have to make to keep the justice and rights for the workers, because the issue is arise when the employers perform their work thoughtlessly without play a real role as a leader. Moreover, the issue of retrenchment of the employee is caused by any public sector employees who wants to become a member of a trade union that can only join those formed by employees in the same department, ministry or occupation. The issue shows a lack of management system in the public sector that will affect the standard of living of the employees when they have been ordered to lay off. Thus, they need to understand the principles of collective bargaining so that it can lead to collective agreement. Collective bargaining is the process of negotiating the terms of employment between an employer and a group of workers. The terms of employment are likely to include items such as conditions of employment, working conditions, and other workplace rules, base pay, overtime pay, work hours, shift length, and work holidays. Thirdly, lack of interaction among the members is happen even though the relationship between employer and employees in the union has to be good to protect each other's rights and fight for the right things. This issue make the voices of them unable to reach the top that results their need and right being useless and unimportant. Harmonious relation is needed to overcome the issue, as it refers to an industrial environment where workers along with their union and management understand and accept each other as partner in progress. They have to commit a cooperative attitude towards one another and be friendly and agreeable as possible as they can.
So I would like to provide a suggestion to manage the issue, which is about not brave enough to fight for justice. My suggestion to manage the issue of not brave enough to fight for justice is they have to be brave. Whatever happens, if they get the title of being a leader to the employees or being a leader to the trade union, they have to be brave. It is because a leader, they have the right to fight for other employees. Being a normal employee that does not have any title or level among them, their voice will not be heard or not be seen by the employer. But different if they voice their problems towards the leaders, and the leader is a responsible person and a brave person, so they will voice it to the employers. In the article also has the example of this situation, such as they choose to lodge complaints with relevant government institutions, which leads to court actions and possibly the appeal process, which can last for many years. In case if the problems matter is easy and we can settle it soon, so why not? Say, okay, why not? We can voice it and no need to lodge it. If not, the problem will take years to solve the matter. In addition, everyone have their own right to be defended, same as the employee. Even though they're just a worker that clean the school, okay, so they still have their own right to be defended. So as a leader, by hook or by crook, you have to be brave, you have the right, you have to protect other employees to save their justice. So I would like to provide a suggestion to manage the issue, which is about... I will continue with the second issue, that is retrenchment of employees. The representative of trade union can use direct negotiation method. As we know, direct negotiation method is actually an ideal method than most of the method. Why? Because there's only involved two parties, and these parties only discuss until they reach their agreement and satisfied. So trade union can help employers to find other ways such as deduction of salary or temporary layoff. But if this method does not work, they can use other method, that is conciliation and mediation method. This method actually almost same because they use third parties. Only in conciliation method, the third party usually from government, but in mediation method is actually usually from non-government. Actually, for conciliation and mediation method, the third party only can encourage union and employer to for them to solve their problem or give an idea how they give an idea to them how they can manage their issue. Other than that, they do not have power to make decision for them. And lastly, if both of parties still does not get their agreement, they can use the last method, that is arbitration. Arbitration is also like conciliation and mediation method. They use third parties, but the third parties can give final decision for both parties. The last issue is lack of interaction within union members. So how can they resolve the lack of interaction within the union members? So first, trade union need to have annual meeting and have other activities with union members. So if there are many activities between them, and the bond between members will get stronger, and the leader of trade union need to approach employees to know whether they have problem or not. So when the employees have to tell their problem, maybe the member of trade union can help them and give an idea to them how to resolve it. Maybe it can help to boost unity within trade union.
As we can conclude from here, employees' job satisfaction level is very important because they are the engines of the organizations, the same as motorcycles. Without fuels, it can't be moved. Without employees, work progress sure will be slow and abandoned. Employees play a crucial role in any organizations as they contribute their share in the forms of services towards better and highly respected organizations. Good industrial relations are necessary for the economic development of a country and for establishing and maintaining the industrial democracy. It will encourage collective bargaining as means of self-regulations and helps government in making laws forbidding unfair practices of unions and employers. It boosts up the disciplines and morale of workers. Industrial relations, particularly, are protecting collective bargaining and worker voice at the level of enterprise. I think that's all from us. Selamat Hari Raya and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.